disaster on a shoot. I didn't overcome it. The camera's still in the river.
The worst disasters that have happened to me usually are overcome by insurance.
You know how you're supposed to use a lens strap? Yeah, or camera strap. That's great. But I was like, it was quick, we got to switch cameras. Bye-bye.
When I first became a Sony Artisan, they gave me a lot of gear.
I had a backup body, so that was fine. But that was a splash that I still have nightmares about.
And I took it with me to Madagascar. And on day 12 of a 30-day shoot, I was crossing a creek and I misstepped and I fell in the water with about $20,000 worth of gear.
We had hired this boat driver from the dock early in the morning, and I don't think we smelled the alcohol in his breath until we got way out to sea.
And I had to send that back to Sony headquarters. So I put it all in a Pelican and I wrote a little note that said, "It's great, just needs cleaning."
Big waves swung wide in the boat. We had to just like hit it straight on. And I'm in the front of the boat, right in the bow. And I see this wave coming towards me. I just put my gear like this and everything just gets doused. I mean, an entire wave crashes on all my gear and I'm just sitting there pouring salt water out of my cameras.
I see this woman and this husband sitting against this beautiful brick wall, and she's a part of the indigenous culture, and she has a very weathered face, and it's a photograph I needed to take.
I got over it, I got the gear, some of it dried out, but yeah, that was a hard blow.
And I took my camera bag off and I put it next to me. And what happened next was quite ingenious from the two people that gave me this next experience. But an individual came from my right and essentially had his hand out.
We were shooting inside and it was really dark. And then the couple came outside and I forgot to change my ISO.
We catch eyes and he's saying like, "Yavis, Yavis," which is keys. And I was like, "Those aren't my keys." And he's like, "Yavis." And I keep looking, so I lean forward. And as I lean forward, his friend behind me had grabbed my camera bag.
I was so in love with their chemistry, I kept shooting the couple. And then all of a sudden, I looked at the back of my camera and everything was blasted out.
2 days into my first big job with National Geographic, and I had about $15,000 worth of camera gear stolen and had to make the phone call.
It was like the bride almost knew because she looked at me and she's like, "Are they looking good? Are they turning out great?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Amazing. I cannot wait for you to see these photos."
And everything was under insurance, but it was probably one of the most embarrassing moments that I've had as a photographer.
And then I said to her, "I love so much what we're doing. Let's just keep doing this. Let's like have you do that again. Lean into him, laugh again. I want him to tell you that joke again." And I basically recreated the whole thing so that they would never know that we didn't get those shots the first time around. And I mean, honestly, they were having fun, and I think that was key, that I kept that versus like letting them see my complete panic that I was feeling inside.
Everyone who ever started off in the film days, bar none, who's honest, had to have at least done one shoot where you either didn't put film in the camera or you didn't wind it properly and you just shot and shot and shot.
I'm busy shooting, and suddenly I think, this is a long roll of film.
There were at least 2 times when I didn't wind it right and I was going, oh my God, it's like I must be up to frame 100, and then I realized the film wasn't advancing.
It's a long roll and it keeps on shooting because there's no film in the camera.
There's a setting on every digital camera that allows you to enable it to shoot pictures without a card inserted. Don't do that. Do not do that. Make sure that's disabled. There's no reason that you should want to shoot with your camera if there's not a card in it.
I was in this small fishing town called Hupp, and these 2 guys came to me in the bar one night at the hotel and said, we are going to travel on the glacier with a snowcat, and you are from National Geographic. You will come with us to see our new tourist operation." So I said, "When do you want to go?" I said, "We should check the weather and we "Oh, no, we just go now."
It was windy. Set up my camera and my 24-70 on the tripod and went against all of my rules that I always know, like always keep, especially when it's windy, always keep a hand on the strap, on the tripod, on something. If you're gonna dip down, get into your camera bag, just keep a hand on it. And I forgot.
They both were named Gisli. So we drive up to the edge of the glacier, and we get on the snowcat in this small cabin, and we're gonna go up to the hut. 20 minutes tops. We get up just over the hump where we can't see the town anymore, and there's this big whiteout snowstorm coming.
And that moment, the wind gusted up, blew the camera over, knocked the 24-70 just off of the lens, just kind of snapped it right off of the camera, and then shattered all. I mean, it was done. It was gone, and I didn't have. That was the only lens I brought with me.
And it's a total whiteout blizzard, and we have to stop because you can't see the crevasses and everything like that. And that whiteout stayed with us for almost 36 hours.
How did I handle it? There was a cooler in the car. We brought some beer along with us. I wasn't driving that night, so I went to the car and I had a couple beers, and I sat there and I watched everybody else shoot.
We were 36 hours trapped in the cab of this snowcat. You couldn't see a thing. It was so bad that if you had to go outside to answer Mother Nature's call, you had to leave one hand on the machine, because if you wandered out, you would be completely blind and disoriented. But these guys were arguing the whole 36 hours. We just had vodka and Ritz crackers to drink, and they had a little television that ran off the battery, and they just kept replaying the Lakers beating the Celtics in Game 6. It was just like that. We watched that game like, I don't know, 6 times.
I think one of my friends was kind enough to say, hey, you want to take your memory card, put it in my camera, grab a couple shots. But it wasn't during the magic light, because everybody was shooting during the magic light. I was drinking a beer.
Here I was with 2 drunk Vikings who were mad at each other, trapped in this little thing, watching the Lakers, kick the asses of the Celtics over and over again. 36 hours, it cleared, and then they still wanted to go up to the hut. And I said, no, we're going back and getting a shower and stuff. And then we went back and we watched the weather, and we went up there and we got some glorious shots. But for that 36 hours, being stuck in that little cabin with 2 Vikings mad at each other, that was I have a good idea what purgatory might be like.